Hey friends, welcome back to Call Me After Coffee. My name is Bree. If you're new here, welcome, and if you've been around for a while, thanks for coming back. Today I'm going to be doing the Leap Year book tag. This was created by Hillary from Melted Books and Amy Myers. I will link both of their accounts down below, and I'm just gonna get right into the questions. I was tagged by Hillary, so thank you, and I thought her and Amy's video were both really sweet, so I'm just gonna get into these questions now. The first question is An Extra Day, and this is a book that brought something extra to the table. This one stumped me for a minute because I wasn't quite sure, like, what did I read that blew my expectations, and I decided to go for Montauk. I loved this story so much. It got a lot darker than I was expecting. It was a lot more thrilling than I was expecting. This, at the heart of it, is a romance, but there was just so much more to it than that, and I absolutely adored it. I loved everything about it. I loved the main character, and this was just a book that I couldn't put down. And if you know me and you know romances, this is a big deal because normally they kind of make me cringe a little bit. I get a little bit of secondhand embarrassment sometimes. But this book was just, there was so much more to it, and it was so much deeper than just like this slap down of people who fall in love, and I just absolutely adored it. I loved it so much. The next one is Taking a Big Leap, and this is a book that you are or were afraid of reading. And for this one, I grabbed Outlander, and only because on one hand, I feel like I'm going to love this because the story sounds really incredible. I've seen the first couple seasons. I really enjoyed the show, but on the other hand, sex scenes kind of make me cringe a little bit sometimes, and I know that this book is filled with a lot of steam. So I'm hoping that I enjoy this regardless of the parts that I might not love so much, but I'm also nervous because I don't want to hate everybody's favorite book because I know this is so insanely popular, but I do think I'm going to like it. I'm just worried that I won't. The third question is every 4 years, and what is the fourth book you read this year? I'm actually currently reading my fourth book, and it's downstairs, and I don't have time to go and get it. The book I'm currently reading is The 13 Tales by Diane Setterfield, and so far I'm loving it. I find it so much more intriguing and beautifully written than Once Upon a River, and I liked Once Upon a River. There were things I loved about it, but you guys know if you watch my videos that it wasn't like a favorite for me. This one I could see being a favorite. It's eerie, it's got this haunting feeling to it. It's really dark and gritty. There's some really twisted characters, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where this is going. It's got stories inside of stories. It's set in a bookshop. Well, at least it starts out in a bookshop. All things that I love, so I have a feeling I'm really going to enjoy it by the end, but I'm only maybe a third of the way through at the moment, but so far really loving it. The fourth question is 366 days in the year, and you have to pick your third shelf and then the sixth book, and then the sixth book from there. So I grabbed these ahead of time because I didn't want to jump up in the middle of the video. The first one was Pride and Prejudice, which I absolutely adored. You guys know this showed up on my favorites of 2019 list, and I absolutely adored it. I thought it was beautiful. It was great. I loved it so much. And then the sixth book from there was actually Lilac Girls, which I really, really enjoyed. And I feel like if I reread this, I would probably up my rating. I only dropped it down to a 4 because there's a romance in here that I felt like was thrown in just for people who like romance, but I really didn't like it, and I felt like the book would have been even better without it. That being said, all the story that surrounds that was 5-star all the way. It was just that one aspect that kind of took me out of the story a little bit, but the story itself, the main characters, the girls that we follow, loved it. That stuff was all 5-star, and I really, really enjoyed it. And now that I've been like away from the book for a while, my feelings about it just keep getting better. So I would highly recommend Lilac Girls, especially because Historical Fiction-a-thon, I think, is going on right now when you're watching this, I think, if I time this right. But I really, really enjoyed this. Number 5 is Leaping Ahead, and these are 4 books you want to read by the next leap year. When I first read this question, I thought it was by next year, but the next leap year makes sense. Anyway, I have 5 books, and it's kind of a cop-out because they're all Brandon Sanderson, but the first books that I would like to get to are the second generation Mistborn trilogy. I would love to get to these. I read the first one last year, and I am so excited to get to these ones. And then the other ones are also Brandon Sanderson. The 4th book in the Stormlight Archive series is coming out this year, so I would actually like to read these and I guess all of the subsequent books that come out between now and the next leap year. I would love to catch up and just kind of ride that train with everybody else and explore everything and discover everything with everyone else at the same time. But I loved the first one in this, and I'm excited to get to these ones. Number 6 is Leapfrog, and this is Name a Book on Your TBR that has green in it, and I decided to grab 2 classics for this one. I have Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier and A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. I haven't read either of these, obviously, because they're on my TBR. That was dumb. But I picked these because they're both green, and they're both beautiful, and I absolutely love these covers so much. These are the Heron Books editions. I usually find them on AbeBooks. They're super cheap, but I love them and I think that they're beautiful, so I try to collect these whenever I see a title that I'm interested in. Number 7 is Bad Luck. What bookish things do you try and stay away from? And I'm not sure if this means like bookish habits or like tropes or plot devices or whatever, so I'm just gonna go with things I don't like in books. I have a whole video, if I remember to link it up here I will, but I would say I try to avoid cheating as much as possible because I very rarely enjoy a book that has it in it, and also you guys know I don't like the resurrection trope. And again, there are always like exceptions to the rule. You guys know me, you know that's just a fact, but generally speaking, I don't like those things. And then the last question is to tag 4 other people, and I am awful at remembering people on the spot, so I went through my recent uploads notifications or whatever, and I just picked 4 people. So I picked Happily Ever Esh, I picked Mary Among Stories, Michael Nip, and Krista from Books and Jams. If you guys have time to do this tag, that would be awesome, but if not, that's fine too. Let me know down below. Feel free to answer any of these questions down there if you'd like. Let me know what you're up to, what you're reading. Did you like this tag? All that good stuff. While you're down there, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already and hit the bell so you don't miss future notifications. I do upload most Mondays and Thursdays, and I will talk to you guys all next time. Thanks so much. Bye.